Alrighty then, game number one, 2v2, AngelinaJolie and Roger versus TheMax and Zuppi, Masters of Arabia 2v2 2016. This is Killer B. This is game one. This is random civs. You can see it's a non-mirror game, Japanese and Spanish for the Netherlands team, and we have Celts and Teutons for the Finnish team. The Max and Zuppi here coming in at a quite a bit higher seed, but we will see if that seeding matters whatsoever. Of course, it is a best of five at this stage in the tournament, and you just got to find a way to win the games. We'll see if AngelinaJolie and Raj can get a win in this one. They're Celt and Teutons. Okay, players talking about the opponents on the map. Going to be interesting seeing non-mirror here. Celts and Teutons for the Max and Zuppi. Could be pretty decent here. We'll see how the early game plays out. We will see how these guys decide to do it. Just keep in mind the settings of this tournament. There is a 50% tax on sling, and the sling upgrades, the tax upgrades, are all in Imperial now. All right, let's quickly look at the maps, and then we'll analyze these civs a little bit and get everybody's ideas about how this might go down. Angelina will be in the northwest corner of the map, has very nice back woodlines. Golden Stone there should be pretty protectable by blocking one flank. This is a long, big wall to do, but put a couple military buildings on top of this hill, and I think Angelina is going to be just fine. Killer B. Sorry, Dragonfire. I think that game is still going. I don't know the result of that. Let's see, Fourthville going over to the wood line for the Spanish player here. Roger in red. Roger can easily wall up the one flank of the map, but the main gold, main stone, secondary gold is all kind of out in the middle of kind of no man's land. We'll see if that player can establish those resources as the feudal age. When we get into the feudal age here, going to be a little bit difficult. I think these are resources that could be under pressure a lot in this game. Spanish player could go with Conks. That front stone suggests to me that Conks would be a little precarious, but hey, he's the pro, not me, so let's see how this one goes down. Almost taking a few hits on that Ville. Not really almost dead, but a little bit worrisome. What's this? We have a forward scout from the Max. So before we even get a chance to look at the Max's map, we'll look at the Max's scout. Coming forward to do a little bit of maybe some shenanigans. Oops, we don't want view lock. We want fog of war. The Max will run almost right past. He'll run right past that boar. Unfortunately, he's not going to. He's looking to steal a boar at this point in the game. Unfortunately for the Max, he's not going to find that boar, at least not yet. Did find the main gold, main stone, and the berries, though, so that's a very nice start for the teal player, the Max. The Max will have 4 on wood early. Celts player might be thinking about a drush here. Very wallable map for the Max. Would have somewhat safe stone. Should have safe stone if he walls it with a little bit of properness, I suppose. Also, Drush Fast Castle coming from Raj in red. Yeah, the Max is already blocking up using those cliffs on the front. I think the Max is a very wallable map, and this gold should be absolutely sitting pretty if he gets an opportunity to get those walls up. I like this map all in all. I think it's pretty darn defensible, and we will see how the Max goes. I mean, 4 on wood early might mean Drush Fast Castle for him as well. Couple stolen sheep here for the red player Raj. Raj will get those back home. Those are headed straight home. He's not playing like backed. He's not running them to the corner. He's going to try to run them home, and this scout from the blue player Zuppi hasn't located those sheep, so I think that they are gonzo. Okay, Zuppi's map is going to have main gold to the side, main stone to the side. Very wallable map. If he gets out a little away from the TC and uses this cliff, that's sort of a more late game look of a wall up. But I think Zuppi's relatively open here for the early game. Relatively open in the early game for the Zupster. Okay, a little bit of Xing going on for the teal player and blue player, talking about maybe a team wall already. Blue scout is still forward. He has scouted out the drush from Angelina, so Raj is going to go with a drush fast castle. At least that's what the red player said. And it looks like the yellow player will also go with a drush. So keep an eye on those two players, both drushing. We'll see who can be effective. Oh boy, that's a big loss though. Red player loses his scout to TC arrow fire early on. That is going to be very annoying. Raj actually isn't bringing those sheep all the way home just yet. He's going to do a little bit of sheep scouting with his opponent's sheep. Pretty sure those are Zuppi's sheep. Zuppi right now is scouting forward, looking for somewhere to be aggressive. Orange scout is still alive, is starting to figure out that the Max is walling up a bit. Orange Scout is going to start seeing some of these walls. Also saw the foundation of that barracks, so potentially knowing that this drush is incoming from the Max. Zuppi will be the only one who's going to play this into the feudal age relatively quickly. Zuppi goes up on 21 Vils. Looks like a pretty standard build. The Zupster will have 10 on wood, 9 on wood for the moment, just taking berries, starting to wall up. Nobody on gold, so let's expect the Teutons player to probably build out some scouts, right? No barracks yet either. There we go. There's the barracks. Cool, cool, cool. Okay, Drush coming forward for the red player, Raj. Raj is actually going to be here in time to deny this barracks if he gets there. If he gets there quickly, yep, he's going to run directly that way. Feudal Age for Zuppi's coming in. This is actually rather important. If Raj can get in here and annoy these vills, he'd get a lot of bang for his buck, but couple of quick houses from Zuppi, and that is pretty much all she wrote. That Drush is going to have to walk all the way around to this side. They will probably be walled out by a stable and more houses when they get there. Anyway, a couple vills heading over to gold for Raj. Raj was talking about trying to do a Drush fast castle. We'll see if that works out for the red player. Let's see, teal player, TheMax, coming forward with his Drush. Drush v Drush on that side, mostly defense from AngelinaJolie's Drush. 4 vills on gold for that player. Blue player, TheMax, just now transitioning over to gold as well. Raj will click up to Feudal Age, and we will expect to see Zuppi being really the most aggressive player in Feudal, while these Drushes kind of wander around. Hey, Ivik, welcome. These Drushes are going to wander around for a minute, and we're going to see if they get something done. But my money is on Zuppi. No, Zuppi's stonewalling. I assumed the scouts were coming from Zuppi. The stable is up. What is the Zupster up to? Is that stable building? Yeah, okay, good. Zuppi's building a couple of scouts out here, and those will be able to head forward and do some damage. And Zuppi's going to be totally stonewalled in and probably team-walled in. If you look at the map here, TheMax and Zuppi working together, they're going to have a team wall completely done but by the time those scouts start to move forward. So Zuppi may be using those scouts coming forward as a bit of a distraction here, keeping his opponent busy. Everybody is thinking about getting to the castle age. TheMax and Raj and Angelina will be up to feudal very soon. They will all be fast castling. Expect similar uptimes for all those players. Zuppi might be a fraction behind, but it's not going to be that. It's not going to be that big of a discrepancy. I think Zuppi just built a couple of scouts. Looks like maybe 3 scouts total, 4 scouts total for Zuppi at the moment. Putting some pressure on the walls here of the gold mine of Raj on the front. We talked about this gold pile being a little tricky and this stone being a little tricky. It's got to be a night build. It has to be. Yeah, okay, Raj putting up a stable as we speak. Raj just doesn't have any ability to take gold, to take stone. So we're not going to see conquistadors here from the red player. Okay, Angelina's been a little bit quiet, still roaming around with that Drush. It's all palisaded in, double archery range and blacksmith coming as we speak. Excuse me, establishing quite a good gold eco, so I expect to see some archers out of AngelinaJolie. Can't believe that she's such a talented actress and plays this game at such a high level. That's really impressive. Anyway, more villagers coming over to gold for the red player. Added in an extra militia on that Drush. He does also have a spear in play to block the incoming scouts from Zuppi. Zuppi scouts, though, yep, they're coming around the top side. They are going to circle around with TheMax. They're going to walk into the back of this eco. And the red player here is going to mostly be safe. This back pocket isn't really... There's nothing going on here. If there was a wood line here, it would be a great place to raid. Angelina and Raj not on Facebook. That house in the face. Oh, jeez Louise. Chat's going crazy about AngelinaJolie. Yeah, like I said, it's pretty amazing for a person to have a full career like that and all those kids and still play this game at such a high level. TheMax's Drush is roaming around. We have Angelina totally walled in, palisaded in, but walled nonetheless. Double ranges coming. Archers being pumped out of those as we speak. TheMax will have double ranges as well. It's not terribly surprising. I would expect that player maybe to be, yeah, a couple of archers behind Angelina right now. Drush still roaming around right now for TheMax. Castle Age incoming for TheMax. Angelina and Raj, you got to think TheMax and Zuppi, though, are in really good shape for the late game. They're house walled in for the most part, and they're stone walled in a lot of places. TheMax might want to shore up the top part of this map, maybe even try to win this top corner so they can do corner-to-corner trading up here to the other side later in the game. But right now it is really looking good for them. They're picking at villagers on the front. Red player's Ville here getting pathed around all those scouts and getting taken down. So Raj will be down 2 vills. Castle Age is in, though, for that red player, and knights are starting to roll out. Just a one stable knight build for the moment from the red player. It's got to be a TC on this one little patch, right? You'd have to think that's incoming quite soon. Got to protect that area. Woodline on the back is also a little bit sketchy. Maybe walling toward the TC there would be good. Why am I making so many recommendations? As if I know what to do. TC coming down now for the teal player. The Max will continue to build up an eco. Let's see. The orange player here will drop a second TC as well. So Angelina dropping 2 TCs. Looks like Angelina and the Max will be squaring off mano-y-mano with archers. Their drushes are still kind of picking and poking at each other and trying to be annoying. But for the time being, we will see this go. We will see this game continue to roll forward. Sorry, trying to talk and read the chat at the same time, and I'm not really making sense. Okay, those scouts come in into the back area onto this wood line. It looks like they're pretty much going to go down for free, though. Zuppi trying to put some... Ooh, he did get enough damage on that Vil. I thought for sure his scout was going to die. Bloodline's in for the Zupster as we speak. Zuppi is going with 1 stable, 2 stable build. Zuppi will hit the Castle Age here in just a moment. We're going to see double stable Knights rolling out for the blue player. Those red Knights were out early, but they weren't able to go forward and do anything. +1 defense on those. That is the only upgrade at the moment for the red player. So Zuppi and the Max here, coming in as the favorites. They certainly got in the first couple punches. The early rounds of this game have gone in their favor. Ooh, looks like the red player will drop a TC on stone and start taking more stone. So that kind of explains the 1 stable knight build. This is going to turn into conquistadors, I suppose. I don't really like conks in a team game like this, especially if you're a little bit behind. They take a little while to get going, but who cares what I like? We'll see if it works out for these players. Crossbows coming forward for the Max as we speak, +1 damage on those. The Max will have 21 total military, including what's left of his drush. So about 17 archers, a scout, and a drush. Angelina will have quite a few crossbows as well. Those are coming forward as we speak. 17 military, so a little bit less military for Angelina. Maybe a little more eco, question mark. Looks like Angelina will be on 39, the Max will be on 45. Max able to get out a bigger army and a bigger eco than his counterpart, Angelina. Okay, we'll see how this one goes down. Villager counts at the moment are about 40 for everybody. The Max is pulling a little bit ahead. You really don't want the Max to boom ever. In this game, it's going to be really, really damaging for him to get up. Max is just such a dangerous player, but the Max and Zuppi, man, I've been watching these guys play together a lot. They really have fantastic teamwork. I've seen them win some amazing games as of late. Okay, Zuppi's coming in with Bloodlines Knights, +1 defense on those. Zuppi's roaming in with all of those crossbows, and they are hitting the Spanish player over and over and over pretty relentlessly. Those crossbows on the front are not going to get in. Angelina doesn't really have anywhere to go. House wall is up for the Max. Max is totally safe against crossbows. Teamwork makes the dream work here. We've got crossbows and knights working together on the front. More villagers going down for Raj. Raj on 40 vils while his opponents pull away. Red player still trying to build some knights out to keep his opponent honest, but he doesn't have enough to do very much. Can probably push back these 2 knights from Zuppi. Zuppi's trying to put some heat on a couple more vils, but for the time being, there will be 40 vils on the map for Raj. So Angelina's coming back. Angelina is going to send all of those crossbows back to help out the teammate. +2 damage on those. The Max has +2 damage in as well. Chain barding coming for Zuppi. And this is looking really, really nice for Zuppi and the Max. They're making their opponents respond to their raids, and they're pretty much totally safe at home behind stone walls. We will see if Angelina and Raj can pull this one back, but it's going really poorly for them early on in the game. If we look at the red player real quick, watch this fight go down while we look. Has enough for a castle as we speak. Castle on the front wouldn't be so bad. We'll see where the red player puts it. But Raj is going to have a lot of trouble getting established with conquistadors because there's just no economy right now. Red player on 35 vils is getting relentlessly 2v1'd. If we look back at home, Zuppi is up with a 2nd and 3rd TC. I believe the Max is on 3 as well. 66 vils for the Max, 60 for Zuppi. Angelina's keeping pace. There's that castle. Not going to have the hill bonus, unfortunately, but it will maybe get up here and help defend this eco a little bit. Yeah, we'll see Angelina keeping pace on the villager count, but we'll see Raj falling quite a ways behind. 32 villagers there for the red player. This is looking really, really bad for this team. This castle can come up, and maybe it can help. It will be in series with the TC. They can defend each other pretty nicely. And Zuppi here is getting aggressive, trying to get as many vills as possible before that castle goes up. Castle on 99, castle on 100. Zuppi probably wants to get the heck out of dodge now. Zuppi got in some good raiding. He'll lose a knight or two maybe while retreating, but definitely worth it. Red player right now on 29 vills. Let's see, the Max coming forward with the next barrage of crossbows to hit his opponent. Crossbows roaming in through the economy here of Zuppi from the Max, so maybe thinking a little bit about defense, or maybe they're just going to go out this bottom gate. Let's see, a fourth TC coming up for the blue player. Full booming, really, right now is Zuppi. Zuppi's got 11 knights out. Absolutely dominating his opponent Raj, and is going to take that advantage and turn it into a huge eco advantage for the later game. The Finns rock. 2v1 rating is sweet. This is very nice rating, as at the moment we are going to see Raj at 30 vills. Raj is in so much trouble, and the Max and Zuppi are kind of fighting this with some of their resources tied down to their eco. 3 TCs for one player, 4 for the other. They are really booming up at the moment and just using these, you know, this is a large army from the Max. 38 crossbows is not too bad, but just 13 knights for the blue player. They're not using their full force. It's not like these are 1 TC pushes. They're just, you know, booming up behind this, playing this very conservatively. They're going to take their early game advantage and swing it into a late game advantage. And, you know, Raj and Angelina can fight this as long as they want, but until they break down these stone walls and start picking out some villagers, they're never really going to have a chance to get back in this game. It's looking very, very bleak here in game 1. The underdogs are having a bit of a tough time in the first game, but I suppose that is to be expected. All right, let's see. The Max is trying to come up north and maybe raid Angelina just a little bit. Angelina dropping a siege workshop in defense to deal with all of these crossbows. Zuppi's knights are +2 defense with bloodlines. They are going to roam into this eco and have a field day. There is nothing here to stop knights. Angelina was fully walled for a while there, is heavily on stone, maybe trying to think about a defensive castle. Nice quick walling for the orange player here for now. Looks like for the moment Zuppi will be focusing on these front area vills, but we're going to see 27 idols, villager counts dropping precipitously as we speak for Angelina. So knights and crossbows for both teams. The attempt to transition to conks here really made this game go from bad to worse. Red player is building conks, though. Those conks are going to slowly roll in. We will see 2 military units right now for the red player. Needs to get a military on the field. Zuppi's not all in for aggression just yet. Imperial Age coming for both Zuppi and the Max. The Max will go men-at-arms and maybe start to upgrade the foot soldier units. Upgrade those. I don't know what you call that type of unit. The swordsman unit, I suppose. Starting to get beefier and beefier. Angelina's saying, they're here and I got it. You know, this is decent. Angelina's going to take that down, but it's just Zuppi and the Max are focusing so much more on eco at this point. 102 villagers each, as if they planned it. Oops, looks like 101 and 103. There you go. It's 100% GG. Says the red player. Yeah, the red player is absolutely in trouble. The Max is just camping out in his eco, standing ground, taking on all of these farmers. We will see chainmail coming in. We'll see Imperial coming in for the Max and Zuppi. Still walled in on their own side. Still happy as can be. Looks like several more stables added in now for Zuppi. Thinking about continuing to upgrade those knights as he hits the Imperial Age. This game was absolutely over. It was very nicely played. Nice teamwork from Zuppi and the Max. They kind of waltzed in to the Spanish players' eco early. They did a little bit of damage with the Drush. Zuppi's scouts did a little bit of damage, and they just kept the pressure on through the Castle Age. At the end of the game, Raj on 42 vills, just not able to impact the outcome of the game. All right, as is usually the case in these early round games, players are usually really ready to get these games going. So we're probably going to see game number 2 in just a moment. The players have already launched. I will update the score real quick. I'll try to update the settings, and I'll try to look at the chat. But it's going to be touch and go here. Players are really moving quickly. By the time the spec delay is over, they've already launched into the next game. Beautiful. All right, let's see. Game number 2 is going to be loser of game 1 chooses the civs for both players. Different civilizations. Okay, oops, that kind of looks funky there in the whatchamacallit, in the overlay. Struggling to find the words to express my joy and my love for the Voobly viewership today. Yeah, right. Yeah, right. Sure, Killer Bee, sure. Okay, we'll wait 1 minute and 30 seconds for the spec delay. I'll drink a little bit of high-quality H2O, and we'll try to fix some of the stuff here. Sorry, this is my first set of games in this part of the tournament, this new tournament to me. Trying to get my wheels on the ground. Okay, let's try this for a moment. 50 seconds left. I like it. Ivik saying, infantry maybe? All right, 20 seconds on the spec delay. We'll jump into game number 2. Zuppi and TheMax pretty well dominating game 1. We'll see if game 2 is going to go any differently. We will see the civs chosen by the losing team. So that may give a slight advantage to, should give an advantage to Angelina and Raj. Here we go. We've actually got the opposite civs from game number 1. Okay, maybe I have the settings wrong here. These guys are going to play Teutons and Celts versus Spanish and Japanese, so it's going to be a reverse from game number 1 here. Angelina will be Teutons, Raj will be Celts. We'll see TheMax as Spanish, Zuppi as Japanese. Okay, so the last game we saw the Celts player go crossbows, we saw the Japanese player go crossbows, we saw the Spanish and Teutons players go knights, we saw the Spanish player try to go to conquistadors, but really didn't quite get there. We'll see if that is a similar strategy here. Nonetheless, game number 2, Masters of Arabia 2v2 tournament, Zuppi and TheMax versus Angelina and Raj. This is Killer Beat. We're going to see Finland versus the Netherlands here, and we will see how this game goes. Game number 1 went very nicely for TheMax and Zuppi, pretty much dominating it rail to rail. We'll see if game number 2 is a little bit of a revenge game from Angelina and Raj. Okay, Angelina is going to have back berries, back gold, back stone. Not a easy, somewhat easy to protect back stone, but for the most part, these resources should be really, really safe. Wood lines are decent, nothing to complain about at all for the Teutons player here. Should be able to pump out some knights at some point this game. All right, that would be my prediction, but we'll see how that goes. Roger's going to go Celts. The Celts player will have back berries, 2 boars on the back. Might not get those stolen. We saw TheMax forward early last game. TheMax is going to be forward early this game as well, but that boar position suggests to me that TheMax probably won't find those boars early on in the game. Red player has an easy little bit of walling to do. Last game we saw TheMax and Zuppi team wall. Maybe we can see a team wall here this game, but Angelina and Raj are really far apart. Have to keep an eye on that. TheMax's scout coming forward finds the TC, continuing to circle around, will eventually find this wood line if he keeps looking hard enough. Okay, so TheMax is forward looking to steal a boar, but that's probably not going to happen. At least doesn't seem that way. TheMax will have 3 on wood early. Spanish player might think about some scouts in the feudal age. Have to wait and see. TheMax is already thinking about maybe putting a wall up here around the front of his area. Main gold is on the front, and it's kind of out there in no man's land. So this is not the easiest gold to take for TheMax. We'll see how he approaches that. As Spanish, if he does want to go onto stone and go into conks, he can absolutely do so. This stone isn't really that safe either. There isn't a lot of room here for TheMax to put up structure, and I don't think we're going to see a team wall terribly early. If you just look at the mini-map, there's not a lot of structure for TheMax and Zuppi to build a team wall with. I think they would be doing a lot of work to try to get that up in the early game. Okay, Zuppi playing as Japanese will have 3 on wood as well rather early. TheMax did not steal a boar. Zuppi is forward. Let's just make sure that nothing crazy is going to happen. Zuppi could find this boar. We'll wait and see for just a moment.
Yes.
Okay, blue player Zuppi is going to be playing this one as Japanese. Does not seem to be drushing, at least not to me. Zuppi's map is somewhat wallable. I think it's relatively protectable. We're going to see a barracks coming up on the front. I could be wrong about that. Barracks coming up a little early here for Zuppi. But yeah, not a lot of structure to work with. Not a great map. Front stone, gold to the side here should be relatively safe. At least that's going to be a nice bonus for the Zupster. Okay, I think Zuppi threw his scout away because I don't see it on the map anymore. Oh no, oh no. Angelina lost a vill. Angelina looks like lost a vill to the boar. Oh my gosh, Zuppi's scout does go down to TC Arrowfire, most likely. Looks like the orange player here might have put up a quick house to make that scout reroute around the house and helped to kill it, I would suppose. Angelina grabbing the 10 gold as we speak and maybe thinking about a drush, but looks to me like a dead vill there on the front. Angelina will be playing one vill behind. Okay. 2v2, game number 2, Masters of Arabia. Booyah, baby. Getting excited for Militia to start coming out. We're going to see Drush v. Drush on the Zuppi and AngelinaJolie's side. So that will be the Teutons player and the Japanese player drushing one another. Spanish player, TheMax, will not be drushing. We'll be thinking about Loom and the Feudal Age soon to come. Red player is going to be playing as Celts, and we're going to see a Celt drush as well. So exactly the opposite of last game. Is that true? No, not quite. Similar to last game, we're going to see 3 drushes and 1 player going scouts. Red player loses his scout again. Red running just too close to the TC, and these guys have been bit by the TC bug. Scouts going down early and often to TC Arrowfire. Okay, Drush starting to roam forward here for the blue player. We'll see Zuppi as Japanese, trying to get those what are now Militia roaming forward. 2 vills over on gold? Nope, nobody on gold at the moment. So we're not going to see men-at-arms here from the blue player. We're going to see walls for the time being. Walls coming for now. Angelina will camp out on top of this hill with the drush in defense. We saw Angelina with a defensive drush last game. Let's see how it works out in this particular game. Both players trying to micro around each other. Orange player doesn't have any vills nearby to help out in this fight. Looks like Zuppi will bring... Oh man, Zuppi with pretty good micro, bringing the lowest HP Militia all the way to the back and able to take down almost 2 of the orange player's Militia. Not a lot of HP left on Zuppi's Militia, though. This drush is going to be really, really weak. Even just coming in to try to poke at the berries is going to be pretty precarious. These units are on very low HP total. Okay, Angelina has scouted a little bit forward. That player's scout is hopefully alive. Hopefully at least somebody's scout is alive. Yeah, that player's coming back. Zuppi did lose his scout, so we will see a pretty good advantage here for the orange player. If he plays his cards right, should be able to clean up this drush. There you go. Angelina's going to use the scout advantage to take Zuppi down a notch. Okay, let's see. Red player's drush is still roaming around. TheMax seems to be in decent shape. 23 villagers at the moment. Feudal Age is in. Scouts probably on the way. A couple of idols on the front line there for TheMax. But I don't think that any carnage has ensued while we were looking at the other side of the map. I think this drush is just still looking for somewhere to land. Zuppi's Feudal Age is on the way. Raj will be coming up as well. Looks like the last player up will be Angelina. Angelina pretty well walled in on that bottom side. This top flank is eventually going to be walled on top of those hills, probably with military buildings, probably with stables. Phil's coming forward, getting pressured. Raj is doing a pretty good job to idle some eco. The first couple of scouts from TheMax will head forward. So TheMax will have 3 units on the field, and those will be headed forward to maybe incite a little bit of damage on his opponent. 4 scouts out now. TheMax is going to find that the red player is walled up. The red player is walled up as far as I can tell. It is a full wall. So Raj will be very safe back at home. 1 villager walled outside of the walls, but that is something that can be rectified pretty easily. TheMax can either put some pressure on these palisades and try to get in, or he can head toward Angelina. Usually when 1 player walls up in a team game, you kind of screw your teammate over, and we'll see if that happens in this case. Drush walks out as we speak. 2 vills headed over to gold for the teal player. TheMax thinking about getting up to Castle Age now that he has a couple of those scouts out. Scouts will not try to push through those palisades. They will continue to roam around, and they seem to be headed back to clean up the drush. Seems like a wise choice. TheMax here is just gonna notice that his opponent is walled up, and he's going to clean his own area out. Okay, walls are now in for Angelina. Lots of palisades up. Feudal Age on the way. Almost fully walled in on that side. 3 vills on gold. Teutons player hasn't tipped their cap to us just yet, but we will expect a stable, I would think, in the Feudal Age. Could be a fast castle build here, but we'll see. Yeah, we're going to see a stable coming down right away from Angelina. And we will wait and see if Angelina can maybe do some damage. Zuppi and TheMax have not been damaged very much at all. I'm not sure they've even lost a villager in these first couple of games so far. We got to see a little bit of offense from Angelina and Raj. You just can't win the game without going out on the offensive. Okay, what do we got? Blacksmith coming down for the Max, continuing to slowly wall in that side. Still open, but just one militia left on low HP for the orange player. 5 scouts coming forward for the Max. Spanish player is going to be able to do some raiding, question mark? Not quite. It looks like Angelina will just finish those walls as the Max arrives. So Angelina's walled in, Raj is walled in. We're going to see those scouts probably run around for a while, unless there's some sort of phantom hole in this wall. I think those scouts are probably not going to be able to do too much. Okay, let's see. Castle Age coming. A little bit of a interesting horse collar time for Raj. I suppose it's all good. Red player is on the way to castle. So is Zuppi. Both of those players, I shouldn't say that. One of those players is going double ranges. I would expect Zuppi to be going double ranges. Yep, Zuppi's double ranges as well. So we're going to see archers coming out. Pretty nice, safe gold ecos for both Raj and Zuppi. Those guys will be diagonal to one another. They're kitty corner to one another, as you might say. And that's going to be a little different than the previous game. We saw archers and archers square off, and we saw cavalry and cavalry square off. In this game, we will see maybe a little bit more of a strategy game. We're going to see the archer civ versus the cavalry civ on each side. Well, we'll see. We shall wait and see. Okay, any word from the Max about whether we're going to see conquistadors? Right now, it is just on gold for the teal player. Let's see. I don't see a stable. I don't see anything. Yep. Okay. Stable is up. Just one for the time being. Of course, had to build those scouts. Just working his way up. Nobody's on gold as we speak. So I would expect knights coming from the Spanish player here in a moment. Okay, a little bit of Xing going on. That is because Zuppi and the Max are once again going to meet up. This time it will probably be the scouts and the crossbows working together. No, don't assume. The Max will get out of dodge for a moment. The Max is getting close to being fully walled in, mostly palisades. It's a long and crazy looking wall, but the Max does get the job done here eventually. Does so in time for Raj to be walled out, those crossbows with no upgrades coming forward, to maybe try to hit the blue player. Looks like that guy's going to go diagonal. Raj will come across the map and try to hit Zuppi. Zuppi is roaming around Angelina's area. Angelina's got still palisades up on most sides. There's a lot of area here that can be pressured, but 4 knights out already for the orange player. Okay, Bloodline Knights for the Teutons player, Angelina. The Max hits the Castle Age. We will see a second stable added in. Double stable knights coming for the teal player. And is also transitioning to stone. Couple vills on stone. Could be to replenish all of those stone walls that the Max built. Could just be thinking about getting some stone for TCs. Let's see. Zuppi will push Raj across the map for the moment. Those guys kind of skirmishing with one another. Teal player still roaming around the map with those scouts. Now Bloodline scouts. They will probably try to find this group of crossbows here in just a moment. See if we can see a pincer move with the Max and his teammate Zuppi, taking down a couple crossbows here for very cheap. Let's see, Zuppi still roaming around the top side of the map, trying to find a place to poke and prod. Zuppi doesn't know anything yet about the red player's map, so we're going to see a little bit of scouting being done. Those crossbows getting cleaned up for very cheap by the initial couple knights from the Max. +1 defense on the Max knights. Bloodlines is in. Should be in good shape. Good arena gameplay. Yeah, yes, indeed. We do have a bit of a walling set of games here so far, at least for the Max and Zuppi. They've been focusing on defending themselves and boobing up in game 1. We'll see how game number 2 goes. Castle Age in. We don't see enough stone in the bank for the Max yet, or I guess we do for 1 TC. Zuppi on the other side will have dropped TC as well. Where's your TC, Zuppi? Zuppi, oh, there it is, right on the top. 2 TCs for both of those players at the moment. Okay, quite a few knights out for Angelina. Angelina is going to be taking on the Max here. The Max doesn't really have enough to hold this, but quite a few crossbows coming from Zuppi. This is good teamwork. Bit of a meat shield out in front of those crossbows should really help hold the line, or help win the battle, I should say. Angelina saying, I need you. Oh, I wish Angelina would say that to me. Angelina needs help from teammate in red, Raj here. Raj needs to be able to come over and help out. It is 2v1 once again. Zuppi and TheMax playing very nicely together. These crossbows are going to use those knights as a meat shield, and we should see those two players get a lot of damage in on Angelina. Angelina's nicely walled, pretty well blocked in. TC is safe, doing a nice job on the bottom to block in with houses. Has knights to defend. But you have to think that eventually these two armies are going to get something done on this side, especially just like pushing through these couple of houses. Alrighty then, where is the red player? Red player is on the way, +1 damage and +2 damage coming in for red. Crossbows will soon try to join up with his teammate. He's going to try to walk through the same hole that TheMax and Zuppi came through, which is a bit precarious. If those armies turned around, he would probably get crushed out there. For now, though, fortunately, they are still trying to go forward, 2v1 versus the Knights of Angelina. This fight's not going to go so great for Angelina. Angelina behind doesn't have any crossbows behind that meat shield of knights. Taking on Zuppi and TheMax, working really nicely as a team. You can see those orange knights are going to go down for really, really cheap. Villagers dropping, and this is a huge problem. TheMax inside of that eco with 10 knights or so, going to kill several villagers from the orange player. By the time the red army comes, Zuppi will be there to defend it away. Zuppi can actually hold that hill, withstand ground, and take away his opponent's gold, and this is really, really bad. Angelina here is going to be in so much trouble, trying to add in more knights, but this is really going from bad to worse. Orange player on 33 vills. Raj is booming up, the red player probably on 3 TCs and booming, but it may not matter. Angelina may be dead before Raj gets anything serious done. Angelina's bored at home with Brad. That's why she's playing some AoE. Indeed, that is probably the case. Okay, let's see. More crossbows coming into the front area here from Zuppi. Zuppi's actually going to get a little bit of pressure on those crossbows. Trying to join up with that initial army here. Trying to kite away as we speak. TheMax will come in with more knights. Even this isn't going to go that well for Angelina. That second army coming in was kind of coming in without a whole lot of a meat shield, but eventually TheMax does add in some knights, and we see GG. Veals te sterk, as Angelina would put it, and I couldn't agree more. Even if I knew that language, I don't think I could agree more. Very nice, clean game once again from Zuppi and TheMax. They'll get a win here in game number 2, and we will move on to game number 3. GG, GG indeed. What's up, guys? Happy Sunday. Let me quickly update the score. They are asking a question about the settings. Let me just double check here. All settings. Game number 3. Yeah, I think that the civs might have been different than what... I might have the wrong settings here, so I'm not going to say anything. Game number 2 for my settings was the loser of game 1 chooses the civs, but that's a different tournament, I think. I think I screwed that up. Yes, it is all Huns in game number 3. My apologies, guys. My info here in game 2 was wrong. It was just totally wrong. I betrayed your trust. All right, we will see game number 3. This could be the deciding game. Oops. In this set, game number 3 is going to be all Huns. There you go. Huns all around the board. All Huns. Cool, cool, cool. Hopefully, I'll update the score here real quick. Hopefully, we'll see a win for the underdog team. That would be nice. See this best-of-5 series go into an extra game at least. But right now, it could be shut out. We're going to see TheMax and Zuppi coming in here with a 2-game advantage. Trying to close this one out. Trying to move on to the next round. Let's see. Gold Rush is being started. Veals T. Sturk, way too strong? Question mark. Dutch confirmed. Oh, nice. Wow. I agreed with something that made sense. I figured it just meant like, damn, that sucked or something. Let's see. Chosen Wolf is here. Hey, hey, hey. Welcome, guys. Thanks for being here. Game number 3 on the way. Vic confirming the language that's going down between the players, and we're going to jump into game 3. This one is going to be all Huns, obviously on Arabia, and this could be the deciding game in the set. Hopefully it isn't. I want to see some more gameplay here today, but if it is, yeah, we'll live with it. Glad to be casting some games. Glad to be doing some of these games. Thanks to everybody who donated to make this tournament possible. Appreciate it, guys. You You provided me and the community with a lot of cool stuff to watch. Okay, all Huns in game number 3, Zuppi and TheMax versus Angelina and Rogier. We're going to see Finland and the Netherlands going toe-to-toe. All right, game number 3, all players choosing Huns here. That is the settings for the tournament. Angelina coming in orange again, Raj in red. Those guys are the underdogs. You can see by the scoreboard that they are down by 2 games at this point. They could be basically eliminated if eliminated from this bracket of the tournament if they lose this game to Zuppi and TheMax. Zuppi and TheMax playing a beautiful set of games in game 1 and 2. We'll see how game 3 goes. Like I said, all Huns across the board here. Okay, Angelina in orange is going to come in as Huns, of course. Everybody's Huns. Berries to the side, nice deer patch beside those berries. 1 mil can do double duty there. Take both the deer and the berries. Looks like a pretty wallable map here. Has to wall that pond, but the orange player should be just fine to wall in if he wants to. That's right, I did say he. Angelina is a he. What? Let's see. Red player Raj is going to already be taking a little bit of deer meat on the side. Nice back gold. Nice back stone for Raj. Also a relatively wallable map. Oh boy. Looks like really nice maps for the Netherlands team to start this game off. Let's look over on the Finn side. The Finns are going to be Zuppi and TheMax. Zuppi is going to be Huns. Zuppi is going to have backberries, backwood, deer patch in the back, gold to the side. Not a somewhat... Not the worst map to wall up if Zuppi wants to, as we've seen in game 1 and 2. Shouldn't be that bad, but it's certainly not nearly as good of a map as we're seeing from both of the Netherlands players. This is a pedestrian map. This is a pretty normal map in AOC on Arabia. TheMax will have gold, stone, more gold, all kind of clustered on this side. 1 puny wood line over there. Pretty tough time if he wants to wall that in, but eventually can block that entire flank if he wants to using the cliff. Yeah, TheMax is also going to have a bit of a pedestrian map. Has a lot of structure. If he can be a little bit aggressive early, he can probably get himself safe by the mid to late game. But I don't love TheMax's map. I don't love Zuppi's map. I think we have a slight advantage for the underdog team here in the maps, and hopefully that will pan out to a victory for them so that we can see a 4th game. What do you think, guys? Hopefully everybody's on board for cheering for the underdog here. Okay, Zuppi's scout is forward early. Zuppi's going to find the deer of his opponent. For now, that is going to be it. Raj has a couple of sheep out here. Both players heading straight toward them at the moment. Red player's going to find them and then lose them. Zuppi can probably try to fight for those sheep, but it looks like Zuppi is a gentleman and a scholar. He's going to send those sheep right to his opponent's TC. Granted, that is free scouting, but, well, it was just for a moment, but still a gentlemanly move from the Zupster. Got to love Zuppi. Zuppi and TheMax playing a lot of team games together, expecting them to go very, very deep into this tournament. But this particular game, they are certainly going to be fighting what I perceive to be an uphill battle. I think they're going to have a little bit of trouble with relatively open areas. Might have a little bit of trouble defending early in this game. Okay, 16 pop for everybody. Looks like nobody's lost any villagers early. 4 on wood relatively early for TheMax. 3 for the blue player Zuppi. I would expect to see mostly feudal pressure, but 4 on wood early. Early-ish for the red player. Didn't see if that was the case right off the bat. 3 vills on wood on the side of Angelina. So potentially some drush action here. We'll see. Orange player able to keep the scout out of TC arrow fire this time. Looks like for now, everybody's just sort of scouting around the map. TheMax, though, might run his scout right into this TC. Let's see if Angelina is ready for this. Angelina is not going to garrison. Looks like TheMax will be all right on his scout. So yeah, Huns meta, of course. You can get yourself up to the feudal age soon. 2021 Vil, something of that nature. Get out some scouts if you want. That's not terribly uncommon to see. With the openness of Zuppi and TheMax's maps, I think that would be a pretty nice way to pressure them. Zuppi here does have his resources in the early game clustered together, so 1 spear could probably defend both of those resources. TheMax, though, has really a clandestine lumber camp on one side. His berries kind of out in no man's land on the front. He is relatively raidable. We'll see if Angelina decides to go with some early scouts. Barracks will come up for the teal player as we speak. TheMax is going loom. Feudal age coming for Angelina. Let's wait and see. That barracks for TheMax will come up. Feudal age will come in. Zuppi's on the way as well. 21 vills for everybody except for Angelina. TheMax's woodline is so far away it is. His back gold here isn't great either. He could like use some structure in the early game to block toward the TC to make those scouts go around, or he could just put a couple of spears here. But the Max going very early over to gold, so we'll have to keep an eye on what the Max is up to. That barracks was up early for the Max. He's got to be building some militia. Yeah, he is. And 3 Vils on gold is maybe more than we might normally expect for Man-at-Arms, but maybe he's thinking Man-at-Arms. Not quite sure. Maybe this is just kind of a weird version of a fast castle build, fast-ish castle build. Getting those militia out as a distraction, possibly, maybe Man-at-Arms. We'll have to wait and see. Vils coming forward for the blue player to drop a barracks, grabbing the 10 gold on the way over. 4 Vils power building a barracks for Zuppi. Zuppi is maybe a little later to the party than he wanted to be. Power building buildings on the front. Feudal Age comes in for Angelina. Angelina is going to go immediately 2 Vils onto a stable. We're going to see a pretty meta Huns game from Angelina. The Max has a couple of militia coming forward. We will see the Max hit the Feudal Age and go Man-at-Arms. So the Max is going to go Men-at-Arms. He's going to actually get the scout here of Angelina, which is a nice win for the Max. The Max will go into archers behind a Men-at-Arms rush. There you go. Let's see, archery range and stable, both coming for the blue player. That's rather interesting this early on in the game. Zuppi hitting the Feudal Age and building one of each, one of everything. Needs 2 of those for the Noah's Ark build, but for now it will be an archery range and a stable. Not really sure what Zupster is up to on that side. Okay, first couple scouts and spears coming out for Angelina. Angelina has reacted to a stable that isn't there. Angelina may be anticipating some scouts coming forward. There aren't going to be scouts. Raj is going to say, WTF, 3 buildings. Yeah, Raj sees what we see and is very confused. Zuppi is building a unit in each building. There are spears coming, there are scouts coming, and there are archers coming. Zuppi with a very interesting build. Multiple personality build. Okay, let's see how this works for Zuppi. Zuppi's going to make it interesting here in game number 3. We just see a stable for now from the red player, but he's going to react maybe a little early with a range of his own, maybe thinking about a couple skirms to hold off potentially some archers from his opponent. Scouts coming forward from the Zupster as we speak. Men-at-Arms are still winning the day right now for the teal player. We've seen a couple of spears and a couple of scouts thrown into that area. 2 Men-at-Arms still alive. Angelina not getting a whole lot done on that side, still playing defense. Raj will soon be playing defense. We're going to see, man, what are we going to see here from Raj? Raj is going to go with a couple of spears waiting inside the barracks still, which is kind of strange. He's going to have 4 scouts, and he's going to have skirms on the way. So reacting to Zuppi's build already. Zuppi's coming forward with archers, spearmen, and scouts. This is going to be a really interesting game on this side of the map. On the other side of the map, the Max seems to be dominating early with continued pressure, Man-at-Arms and archers. Orange player trying to stonewall, but not quite getting them down for now. Hotbed of action about to get kicked off on the other side. We're going to see scouts from the red player, 5 of those. 5 scouts here from Zuppi. Lots of spears for both sides. Archers in for Zuppi, but they're taking a little bit of early pressure. Skirm is out on the field, needs to focus on those archers. Kill the archers, Barrow. Trying to focus down the spearmen for the time being. No, this Skirm is focusing on the scouts. Red player is in absolute chaos, but hey, that is the name of the game right now. Zuppi's going to be pushed back from this eventually, but does look like he will have 5 scouts remaining at the end of that fight. Oh no, Raj lets 1 scout get out away from the pack, and he'll lose that as well. So 4 scouts from Zuppi, not a whole lot of HP. Lots of skirms coming in from the red player, adding in a second range as we speak, just now going over to gold. Zuppi built that initial burst of army, but it is mostly back at home now. He's got a couple archers and a couple more scouts possibly back at home. Right now, though, we will focus on this raiding. He's going to run in on the front and maybe snipe this Vil. Yes, indeed. Blue player able to snipe a villager there on the archery range that was coming in. Very interesting early game from Zuppi. Very interesting early game from the Max. The Max is going to go with continued archers now. Okay, we're not going to see any more men-at-arms for the time being. The Max has villagers, though, everywhere. I don't know what's going on here. I didn't see any units come up to bother the Max. It seems like the Max is searching with villagers for another lumber camp, another lumber line to work on, and he's going to have to settle for a very puny lumber line on that side. Really, really tough game for the Max to establish his lumber. He has a decent wood line below his TC, but I guess he doesn't. Well, it's not that decent. For now, he doesn't quite want it. Double ranges for the Max, continuing to pump out those archers. They're camping out on the hill just to deny the walls from his opponent. Angelina's got a couple of skirms here to try to deal with this, and a couple of scouts as well, so this is not going to go so great for the Max. The Max is is focusing on the scouts, which were mostly just dodging arrows. Looks like Angelina's going to go back. Thought those skirms were going to get the jump on that set of archers. On the other side of the map, we see archers and scouts on both sides. We do not see any upgrades on those scouts for the time being. Archers are not upgraded for Zuppi either. Upgrades already in for Raj, +1 damage on his skirms. He's going to hold this hill for now, playing very defensively. Has a lot of skirmishers and a lot of spears here. Going to have to see him transition into an army that's a little bit more offensive. Okay, the Max is still roaming around trying to annoy his opponent, but he's really not going to get much done here. Stonewall's mostly coming up for Angelina. Certainly, we don't expect the Max to run in and beat this group of skirms, but for now, he's going to do a little bit of damage to a couple of scouts and probably go back up onto that hill. More archers coming forward from the Max as we speak. Double ranges for him. And slowly but surely, the Max working up on food and gold to maybe click up. Zuppi is nowhere close. Seems to be in a really hardcore feudal build, going bloodlines as we speak. Let's see, how many scouts do you have, Mr. Zupster? Zuppi on 20 military. Most of it's here on the front. Looks like a half-dozen scouts roaming around through that eco. Bloodlines is in. They're going to be relatively beefy, at least for the feudal age. They'll grab a villager on the front, and they will continue to put pressure on. Oh no, there's a hole in the wood line? Oh no. Oh no, there's a hole in the wood line. This is going to go incredibly bad for Raj. The red player here is in so much trouble. Oh no. Oh, that one hole is like a huge difference maker. He's going to lose 6 or 8 vills because of that one little hole in the wall. Raj is feeling pretty bummed, and you know, we're seeing Angelina offer to send some help. Raj will send in the scouts, will send in the skirms, and maybe clean up this army, but we'll be on 34 villagers. Oh boy. Oh boy. Scale barding coming in for Zuppi, going to continue to beef up these scouts. They're going to be really beefy against skirms now. Should be a pretty decent advantage in this fight for Zuppi. I think he can take on these skirmishers head on with these 5 scouts. Still microing around his archers here. Scouts coming from Angelina to try to help clean this up, and maybe they can stabilize the ship at least for the early game. Killer Bee mispronouncing Roger's name the entire... I don't know how to pronounce it. That's a good point. Nobody told me how, so I don't know. Looks like for now Zuppi will be pushed away from this, but we will see the red player down by quite a few villagers. Okay, Angelina's clicking up to castle. That villager number isn't quite so high for Angelina, just 36 vills. The Max is 3 vills ahead. Continued archers being built up on that side, but it does look like the orange player was able to finish up the walls and get relatively safe back at home. Zuppi is maybe in a forever feudal build. We'll have to wait and see. Nope, he just clicked up. Looked at his resources and they were very low, but he's just clicking right before we said that. Okay, so everyone is clicking up for the most part. Zuppi has really knocked out the red player so far in this game. It's going to be a really huge uphill battle for that team, but they're going to fight it out a little bit. This is their moment. This is their chance to try to win back a game here. Might as well continue working on it. He has no idea how to pronounce the G. You seem outraged, as if I should, like, study name pronunciation. We paid Killer Bee all this money, all these $0, and he mispronounces names. Spears are going to hurt in a couple of those scouts. Not quite, but Raj here is going to be just fine. Rog is going to be just fine. Let's try Rog. Maybe that's right. Scouts roaming out. The stone walls might be completed here by the red player. Castle Age on the way. Potentially a chance to maybe, kind of, hopefully get back into the game, but it's not looking very good at all early. Siege Workshop coming on the front for the Max. He's going to run forward and drop a Siege Workshop, start putting some pressure on Angelina. Angelina is in the Castle Age going Bodkin Arrow and Bowsaw. I hope this is going to be a 1TC build for now. I think that is probably a wise move. Let's see. Cav Archers starting to come out. Yes, indeed. 4 ranges. Cav Archers working their way out. Bloodlines with +2 damage there for the orange player. Going to put a gate up here. Well, that's a weird gate location. Where's that gate going to go to? That gate is going to go to nowhere. Unless the stables, unless this barracks is going to be deleted. That's very interesting. But anyway, there's a gate there on the front. We'll keep an eye on that. Red player roaming around with a mixed army of archers and skirms, defending with a couple of spears. Stone walls are up on the backside, and it seems to be stabilized for the moment for the red player. As we said, 36 villagers. Crossbowmen, bodkin arrow coming in for red. Town watch, chain barding armor coming in for Zuppi. Zuppi is going to add in some knights. He will have +1/+2 on those knights. He'll also have a couple of crossbows roaming forward. We will see cav archers and crossbows, I think, from the Max and Siege Workshop on the front. The Max is going to add in a Siege Workshop on the front. His villager might die here if Angelina finds it. Nope, not quite. Looks like Angelina for now will not. Was that a forward castle from the Max? Nope, the Max here is going to drop a Siege Workshop on the front. We are going to see that barracks deleted and a gate come up behind it. Very interesting to see that. But nonetheless, cav archers are roaming around for Angelina. Pretty good upgrades on those. Bloodlines of +2/+1. Heading forward, they're going to be climbing this hill against the Max. The Max might not have the numbers, but he had the hill from the start of this fight, so it should go relatively equally. Looks like the Max will retreat into the arms of his larger army, use some of his crossbows here, and push that group away from Angelina. Angelina is hopefully going to start thinking about some offense. Angelina's stonewalled. I know there is a Siege Workshop here, but you can see that the initial units coming out of that are going to be under some pretty serious pressure. The Max has gone with a couple of rams there on the front. Oh boy, though. Oh boy, while we were looking away at a toe-to-toe battle between Angelina and the Max, we see Zuppi running in again, taking down quite a lot of army from the red player. This is going to be tough. 11 units left for red. He says GG, GG. He really wants to call GG. Behind on Vills, can't really seem to establish an army, can't seem to get his walls completed. Trying to use a university here to finish the walls, but there's still just one opening. Knights running in from the Zupster as we speak. And this is going from bad to worse for the red player, losing crossbows left and right. Going to lose the villager who was coming forward to do the walling. Hopefully we'll see the red player here stick it out for a minute. I think he should stick it out for a minute, but just to see if his teammate was going to ever be able to hold his side. Maybe that is not going to happen. Knight putting a little pressure on these rams. We're going to see cav archers v cav archers on the side, but it seems like the Max has the numbers. So it does seem like Angelina wasn't going to be able to hold the line on this side. So Angelina and Rogier, yeah, let's go with that. They are going to go down 0-3. They're going to lose 3 in a row here. The Max and Zuppi kind of handling their business. When you're supposed to win a game, you have to come in. You have to be a little conservative. You got to play it a little safe. In this case, they did a really good job not to ever be on defense. They were sending small armies forward in each game, in the early game, and in every case they were able to keep the pressure on their opponent. Not usually with overwhelming numbers, but in often cases with overwhelming teamwork. So there you go, guys. We have launched this off. That's my maiden cast here. We'll see if we can do better next time. But for now, it will be the Max and Zuppi heading forward into the next set. Let's see, lots of good sportsmanship actually going on in the chat between the players. That's really great to see. Good luck in the next round. Good job. Well played, guys. All sorts of great stuff in the chat here. Got to love a little bit of sportsmanship in AOC. This was best of 5 Deer Drescher, so this one is gone. GG, Angelina and Rogier. God, somebody has to tell me how to pronounce that properly. Let's see. At least he's not saying, oh man. That's the thing, guys. That's the Liam Bai bringing up the Yinghua. I live with a Chinese woman. The proper way to pronounce that name is Yinghua, but Yinghua is actually Yinghua. But nonetheless, we'll get into that argument another day. Hopefully you guys enjoy it. Hopefully you had a good time. Rogier. Is that what it is? Rogier? Anyway, try to do better next time, guys. Thanks for being here. Thanks for hanging out in the Voobly official channel. Hopefully I'll be able to do more of these games. Hopefully I will pronounce people's names. Mediocre. We'll do better. Much love in the chat. Hopefully you guys had fun. All right, I'm going to kill it. I don't think I have an ability to host with this channel, so I'm just going to call it a day here. I don't know if it will auto-host somebody or not, but hopefully you guys have a good rest of the day. I'll be on my own channel at some point, probably in like 15-20 minutes if you guys want to stop by and say, hey, But throw some love to Voobly. Throw a follow to Voobly. Follow me if you want. Whatever. Up to you. Anyway, thanks again. Going to sign off now. Much love. Peace.